3, 2, 1.
Hey everyone, I'm Daniel. Today we are going to unbox quite possibly the biggest game of 2020 in physical size. The hype train for this game has been unbelievable. This game was first announced about 8 years ago and has been at the top of people's wish lists for a really long time. The game has been delayed and delayed. There's been a few controversies with its release. So the game has been delayed multiple times this year and finally was released December 2020. Basically the last 3 weeks the developers, CD Projekt Red, have copped so much flack. The game was so buggy on release for the original PlayStation 4. So basically what Sony did was they started getting so many customers complaining about the game crashing and not being what they really expected because it was very buggy. So Sony took the very drastic action of removing the game CyberPunk 2077 from the PlayStation PSN store. Now I'm gonna start unboxing. Got my trusty safety knife and let's get going. Look at this. This is frickin' huge. Here is a typical PlayStation 4 game box. This is a big boy. This is a chunk of a game. This is the largest collector's edition for a video game I have ever purchased because I have been waiting for this game for such a long time. This better be amazing. So on the back here we've got Night City Changes Everybody. So this is basically talking about a futuristic city in 2077, a very cyberpunk kind of game environment. So the main feature in this is this 25 centimeter statue, which is incredibly detailed. It comes with a case with reversible cover, comes with some postcards, a world compendium book, hardcover art book, a collectible steel book, some stickers, a map, some metal pins, some embroidered patches, and also a bunch of digital content like soundtrack, source book, wallpapers for desktop and mobile, a digital art booklet, and a digital comic. The graphics look amazing. Where CD Projekt Red seems to have sort of gotten themselves in a bit of a pickle is that before the game was released, with the typical review cycle, is that they only sent out review copies of the game on PC. They seem to have deliberately withheld releasing preview copies of the game to all of the game reviewers in the industry for the base levels of the PlayStation 4. Because they've been advertising this game for so long, like I believe I pre-ordered this game over 2 years ago when it was first announced for official pre-order. And then it was delayed and delayed and delayed again until December 2020. So now it's here. I'm very excited to play it. So I'll get back to unboxing. Okay, so here we go. We've got a very detailed cardboard box. 77, I like that number, that's my birthday. Now if I look very closely, this seems to be like a futuristic tower building, and like an office complex, apartments or something like that. It looks very cool. Okay, anyway. That is heavy. Unfortunately my box seemed to get a little bit damaged in transit, but oh well, what can you do? What is in this? There is... Wow, that's pretty cool. This seems to be everybody's signatures from the development team. So that's pretty cool. And next up we have the game, which happens to be just a little bit fatter than Yakuza Like a Dragon. Let's see what's in here. So we have the game, data disc and a play disc is in here. There is a world compendium, which is maybe a bit of an introduction to the game. There is a Night City map. These must be all various parts of the city that you can travel to. So it looks like there's mountains, it looks like there's city, an industrial complex, a spaceport over here, the Pacific Ocean, downtown city center, an industrial district up here, some northern oil fields, Santo Domingo. This looks like in the desert somewhere. It looks like a pretty massive world that we'll be able to travel around. And then what do we have here? So there's some really nice postcards in here. Pacifica, El Coyote Koyo. And then this one is Japantown, Kabuki Market. This looks pretty cool. It scratches a lot of the things that I really love about Japan. Actually, my favorite anime of all time would be Ghost in the Shell by Masamune Shirow, and I have watched that film many times. It is my favorite anime movie of all time. Now, what is next here? We have a beautiful, thick art book, the official art book of Cyberpunk 2077. Now, how many pages are there in this book? There are 216 pages in this art book. So it is, wow. There is a lot of concept artwork and preliminary sketches. Wow. There's been a lot of effort put into this. This looks like Blade Runner, shades of Tokyo, Yokohama, Hong Kong, iconography, but then parts of America, Mexico, oil fields, Texas, parts of Russia even. Here's some in Japanese. Hanako Arasaka. And the cars. Look how detailed the cars are. Wow. That's very cool. I'll have to spend a bit more time and go through that. Now, next up, there is a very nice embossed steelbook with the iconic cyberpunk yellow. This is a really cool color. It seems to be the color of 2020. Very nice. Now, in here, what do we have? We have some stickers. Yay. How many stickers are there? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 stickers in there. And next up, we have some sew-on patches. There are 3 sew-on patches. Night City, some sort of military badge one. And Samurai. And here, this feels quite heavy, this one. Oh, it's even got little pictures on it. So this is a keyring. And the wheels even move. That is very detailed. And what is the final thing in here? We have some metal pin badges. Night City Heat and Militech. Okay, and then the final thing in this box is this thing. NCPD Evidence Chain of Custody. So I think this is a visitor's guide to Night City. Like a Lonely Planet guide to Night City. Okay, so it's got maps in it. It tells you about some of the stores and streets and suburbs in the game. Japantown, talking about Japantown, Santo Domingo, Pacifica. Okay, now we are going to get onto the main event. The main reason why this game is the biggest game of 2020 with this special edition is because of the figurine that is in this box. And here it is. The main event. Ta-da! This is the action figure to end all action figures. Here we go. Oh, this is heavy. Woo. It smells like some sort of polyurethane, a little bit hollow down that bottom. What is here? It says CyberPunk 2077. CyberPunk 2077. There's a little backpack or something here. It's very detailed. There's pipes and vents and a machine gun here and some trash on the ground from Kashu Hunten. Oh, look at this. This guy has got a motorcycle to the chest. Now that's gonna hurt. That is really gonna hurt. Because this is gonna be a heavy bike. But it's very detailed. It's got all stickers on here, Sex Blasters, the Samurais. So this must slide into here like this, I think. Okay. And finally, part 3. Here's the main character. There's a little metal pole on his leg, which must slot into something here. Yeah, that seems pretty detailed. Oh wow, this is really heavy now. This is the CyberPunk 2077 Super Collector's Edition. This is 1.386 kilograms. I am very excited to play this game. As I said, I've been waiting for a really long time for this game to finally come out. It's finally come out, and it has been a bit of a PR nightmare for CD Projekt Red. Their stock price basically plummeted after Sony removed CyberPunk 2077 from the PSN store. The game has still not been officially returned to the PlayStation store, so the only way people can actually play it on PlayStation is to buy a physical copy. There is supposed to be a free PlayStation 5 upgrade, which I'm eagerly anticipating because I think this game really deserves to be played on a very high-end gaming rig like a PC or PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X. And lots of the complaints from what I've seen for the original base version of the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One S seem to, like all of the gameplay footage I've seen where the game looks like absolute trash, have all been sort of streaming or loading kind of issues. So you'll walk up to a character and then it will start off with like a really blocky, low resolution skin of the character you're talking to, and then it will gradually load in parts of the game and all the digital assets for the skin textures and the clothing and the mouth animations and things like that. Now, something I haven't really seen anybody else discuss is how probably the main reason a lot of these issues are being experienced on PlayStation 4 is because the PlayStation 4 does not have an SSD drive in it. It is running off a 5400 RPM, pretty archaic spinning hard disk drive.
It's like crazy slow.
That's why it just can't be streaming this massively open world with all of these hyper detailed environments and buildings and reflections and puddles and people walking and other cars driving, sunlight fading, weather effects. It can't keep up with it because it's trying to stream it from a 5400 RPM hard disk drive. I think that a lot of these initial bad reviews on PlayStation 4 could have been avoided if maybe the reviewer had actually tested the gameplay or maybe compared the gameplay to installing the game on an external SSD, solid state drive, because the access speed is at least 10 times faster. So that would, I believe, eliminate most of the poor performance and terrible graphics that original PlayStation 4 owners have had to suffer through. Fortunately, I will be playing through once the game is installed on my PlayStation 5, and I have an external 4TB SSD that I will be installing CyberPunk 2077 onto. I know that there is a lot of software updates that I need to do for this game after installing off the disc. There's 2 discs. There's an install disc and a play disc. So because this is the PS4 version, each disc only holds 50 gigabytes. The official PlayStation 5 release of the game will probably only come on 1 disc because the PlayStation 5 discs can hold 100 gigabytes per disc, as opposed to the PlayStation 4 50 gigabyte discs. So the PlayStation 5 version will have to be installed to the internal SSD of the PlayStation 5 because that is very fast. That is like one of the fastest solid state drives in the industry, and It sounds like that's really one of the major things that players wanting to step into Cyberpunk 2077 need to be aware of, that their device can handle this very punishing game. I look forward to playing this, and hopefully I'll be able to share some gameplay footage at a later date once I've finished downloading everything and testing it out. That brings us to the end of another video. If you enjoyed our content, then please don't forget to smash the like button, click the subscribe button, and ring the bell for the notifications. If you have any comments on future games or tech or reaction videos that you would like Yuka and I to react to, then please leave a comment in the comment section down below. See you next time. Stay safe.